I'm gonna take a little break from all this running around, okay? Boys will be boys. Hey guys, I'm here to talk to you about my bargain bin movie review for Friday the 13th, Part 8, Jason Takes Manhattan. The Big Apple's in big trouble as indestructible psycho fiend Jason Voorhees hits the road to New York City and paints the town red. After a shocking return from beyond the grave, the diabolical Jason ships out aboard a teen-filled love boat bound for New York, which he soon transforms into the ultimate voyage of the damned. Then one of his terrified victims escapes into the nightmarish maze of Manhattan's subways and sewers, only to confront Jason one final time.
Rated R.
Jensen Daggett plays Rennie, our main character and final girl. She's a mild-mannered young lady who dreams of being a writer, though she does become more fearless as the movie goes on. Jensen's performance was fine. She tries to convey more emotion than I think the script allows. Often it comes off as lingering stares rather than something meaningful. It's unfortunate because there are aspects of her performance that would have worked if the story was better. Scott Reeves plays Sean Robertson, boyfriend to Rennie, and a rare final boy character. We get a little background on him. His father is the captain of this graduation party ship, and he's expected to take over command. It's an odd little detail. Scott is okay in this part. His concern for Rennie's well-being felt genuine, though. Their romance was really cute. The rest of the cast was the usual slasher fanfare. An overbearing teacher, a jock, a skank. You know the drill. They are mostly there as cannon fodder. The movie starts with a brief history lesson about Jason and Camp Crystal Lake between two co-eds who were on a boat at said lake. I'm not sure this bit was necessary considering that this is the 8th movie in the franchise in only 9 years. This is also where the movie's first plot convenience occurs. In previous movie installations, Camp Crystal Lake was always shown as a landlocked body of water. This co-ed boat is a small yacht, if you will, motorized with living quarters inside. That's an odd boat choice to tow to a lake just for a date. But for this movie, the lake's geography has changed. There's now some kind of tributary that connects the lake to the Atlantic Ocean. It's a weird thing to change at this point in the franchise, but without it, the movie plot couldn't move forward. There's also a large electrical wire cable on the lake floor, which just happens to get caught on the boat's anchor, releasing a revitalizing jolt to Jason. Another plot convenience happens again during a particularly brutal scene. In my opinion, the most brutal scene of the movie. After getting kidnapped at gunpoint by 2 criminals, Rennie is injected with about 3 cc's of what I assume to be heroin. And right before she's about to be violated even further, Jason comes in and attacks the 2 men. However, the effects of the injection are non-existent. Somehow she absorbs it with no problem. Maybe she has a high tolerance. Or maybe the rest of the movie wouldn't have happened if she OD'd. The final plot convenience I will bring up is the sewer system in New York City. According to the film, the entire system is flushed with toxic waste at midnight, every single night. Now look, I know that New York City in the 80s was a dirty place, but even this is a bit of a stretch. Toxic waste running through the same sewers that lead to the water treatment facilities. It's all a bit over the top. So the film follows a graduating high school class who are taking a cruise from Camp Crystal Lake to New York City via that newly formed and highly convenient tributary. Of course, Jason is also on board and calamity ensues. And it keeps going on. And on. And on. It goes on so much that we don't even reach New York City till over an hour into the movie. That leaves about 35 minutes of time in the actual city, which is in the movie title. Now, I know that this was for budget reasons, but it still felt like a bait and switch to me. I was expecting Jason to be wreaking havoc throughout the Big Apple for the whole movie. So what exactly happened on that long boat ride? There was laughing, dancing, intimacy, and of course, murder. Given this large cast of supporting characters, Jason has his work cut out for him. I will say that I found the kills interesting. There were some creative demises in there. But for some reason, we don't really get to see them. I thought this series was known for its slasher gore, but it's quite absent from this film. The camera cuts away from every slash, stab, and crushing blow. There wasn't even that much blood considering how people were killed. Just some cherry-colored splatters here and there. Perhaps I'm spoiled by modern-day horror. I'm not saying that we need full dismemberment on the screen. I'm just saying that if 20 people are going to die, there should be some sign of that happening. It felt like I was watching an edited-for-TV version of the film. While the lack of murder visuals was a bummer, the movie did give us some neat vision visuals. Our main woman, Rennie, tends to have strange visual hallucinations, often including Jason. These sequences were really well done, probably my favorite parts of the movie. These visuals are layered and superimposed, creating a dreamlike quality. This also led to some very impressive scene transitions. But aside from looking cool, these visions didn't serve much purpose. We never truly learn why they happen. Does Rennie have a psychic connection to Jason?
Huh?
Is Jason haunting her mind?
Huh?
Or is she having trauma-induced hallucinations? We never find out. I feel like any of these options would have given more gravity to the plot. Now that's something that the plot could have really used. Now I know that this is a slasher and I can't expect Oscar-worthy screenplays, but there must be a way to bolster this plot without dragging down the pace. And the pace of the film was fine, considering the lack of details. Why is Jason so hellbent on following this group of individuals hundreds of miles to Manhattan? Why didn't he get distracted and go on a huge spree in the city? Jason isn't just a mindless killer. He shows his personality and self-awareness multiple times throughout the film. Perhaps since this was the 8th movie, the director just wanted Jason to have a change of scenery. And what a waste of scenery it was. The movie opened with a gritty narration about how truly awful New York City is, basically saying that it represents the downfall of society. Granted, New York City was a pretty shady place at the time. I liked it as an unexpected way to start a slasher film. But if it was so awful, why are we taking a class trip there? 2 adult chaperones for 30 teenagers in a big city? The city is portrayed in such a harsh light that it felt excessive. This doesn't stop our cast from walking down dark alleys, all alone. The city's residents are shown to be cold and uncaring. No one reacts to Rennie and Sean screaming for help. This bystander apathy further cements the idea of a dangerous city. No one seems to care that a wet, rotting corpse is chasing people in the same subway car. The conclusion of the film had some interesting details among the cliches, but it felt abrupt and inconclusive. A fitting finale for this messy 8th sequel. The interesting visions and creative kills couldn't make up for the lack of story and on-screen horror. And it is for these reasons that I am giving Friday the 13th Part 8, Jason Takes Manhattan, the soggy score of 4 out of 10. For someone like me who is newer to the franchise, this wasn't a great introduction. I hope the other entries are better. So, what did you think about Friday the 13th, Part 8, Jason Takes Manhattan? Shriek to me all about it in the comments section down below. And remember to like and comment for more menacing content just like this. I'll see you in your dreams. Oh wait, that's Freddy Krueger. You'll float too. Bye.